Hi, everybody. Today is September 14th, 2014, and I am getting back on the horse on doing the blog. I kind of took about a month off for a couple of reasons. For one, I didn't have a lot really that I felt super compelled to say, and for another, I've had a couple of health issues that some of you guys know about, both with my knee and with other couple other things going on. Nothing super major, so nobody panic or anything. But just enough stuff going on that I didn't really feel like I was in the right frame of mind to talk coherently into a camera, I guess. So, and since it was early in the project, and like I said, I was doing this for me, I figured, I wasn't gonna try and force something that there didn't really seem to be a super big demand for. And then all of a sudden, a couple people started reaching out and saying, hey, we missed these things. So here we go. We'll try it again. So today, I want to talk about shame. And when I talk about shame in this case, I'm not talking about embarrassment or, like feeling regret over something that you have done. I'm talking about the shame as a verb, as in what people do to each other to try and, I guess, belittle. There's a really good chance that you like something out there that I don't. You probably like some stuff that a lot of people don't like. That can be music, that can be food, it can be a clothing style, it can be a personal style, it can be whatever. And what it comes down to is that you have the right to like whatever it is that you like. I put a post up last night about, love whatever you want, except for the new Taylor Swift song. That was a joke. I do think it's garbage, but if you like that song, good for you. That's awesome. I think that if it speaks to you, that's great. I don't care for it, and I'm, freedom of speech, right? I get to make jokes about it just like you get to like it. But, at the end of the day, I would never take that song away from you, even if I had the power to do so. It's your right to like whatever it is that you like. I might, like I said, crack a joke about it, but I would never try to tell you that you are wrong for liking something. I might, get in an impassioned discussion with you about why I dislike something. But, and to be clear, we're talking about non-life-threatening issues here. If you like heroin, that's still bad. Yes, maybe you have the right to like heroin, but that doesn't make it not bad, because heroin can screw up your entire life. But enjoying Taylor Swift or sushi or, Brussels sprouts or, having body piercings, none of those things are going to endanger your life or the life of people around you. So anyway, I'm getting a little off track. The point is that there is a growing trend, it seems to me, to, beyond mocking, try to shame people for liking what they like. Now, there are people that are going to disagree with this in certain circumstances, okay? Like, I know that there are people that actively dislike all forms of sports. They actively dislike them to the point where they mock people that do like them. I don't really care. You can then make the argument that, well, sports are dangerous and they cause physical injuries in the long term, and you're right, they do. But on the other hand, they're a widely accepted social norm, so I don't know. It's a touchy subject. But the crux is, whether you feel like you're right or wrong, no matter what your personal opinion is, you don't have the right to rain on other people's parades about it. It's just not how the world is supposed to work. This isn't part of what being kind to your fellow man is supposed to be about. You're not supposed to be, tearing other people down in order to try and make yourself feel better, And in a way, that's sort of what this all is. I get that you don't like some stuff that other people like. You know, I'm a big board game enthusiast. There are a lot of people, especially here in the United States, that think that board games are for children. Well, okay. You know, you're entitled to that opinion. I would love to sit down at a table with you and, you know, show you some of the board games that I own and enjoy that are clearly not intended for children. And I think that if you're a friend of mine on Facebook or Twitter, there's a very good chance that you already know that. But, you know, whatever. I'm just using that as one of many examples. But it's just this trend where we all kind of seem to start to feel like we just know better. You know, somehow, whatever information that we have gleaned over the years has caused us to just know better than the people around us about whatever thing that we feel passionately about. You know, and maybe I'm reading too much into it, and that's very possible, but it upsets me because there's nothing wrong with liking things. It's the opposite of that, right? You're supposed to have likes and wants and desires and hobbies and things like that. That's what makes you a healthy human being. And for other people to come around and mock you for your likes and desires and wants and needs and whatnot is just an ugly side of the human condition that I don't think we should accept as just being part of what makes us people, but we should be trying to rise above. That's just me. Think about it this way. If you were, let's say you were a nerd, maybe you were. I was a nerd when I was in school, and there were the cool kids, you know, and maybe you liked, in my age group, you know, you really liked computers in the early to mid 80s. That was kind of a nerdy thing to like, right? I mean, nobody really understood computers. People didn't own computers, whatever. And so you didn't, you know, if you were a computer guy, so to speak, you were definitely a nerd. And people made fun of you. Movies were made about it, for God's sake. You know, and you were made fun of by people that knew better, right? So fast forward 30 years to now, when people that don't understand sports, you know, so there's the memes. I'm just going to use this as one example. I promise I'm not picking on anybody in specific here, so please don't take this personally. I'm really not. But, you know, like there's this whole thing where there are people out there that don't understand sports, and rather than or don't enjoy sports, maybe they do understand them and they just don't enjoy them. They don't see the point. But rather than just ignoring them, which is pretty darn easy to do in the grand scheme of things. I mean, it's not that hard to, you know, stay off of Facebook and Twitter for a few hours and read a book or watch a movie or something else. But instead of doing that, they have to take pot shots at the people that do enjoy sports. They have to make, you know, comments about it. I don't know. I personally take all this stuff in stride. It doesn't really bother me on a personal level, but there's a part of me that doesn't understand why that compulsion is there at all. Why can't you just ignore the things that you don't like? I mean, if you feel like, you know, you have some sort of moral obligation to stand up against something that's wrong in the world, like if you feel that sports are morally reprehensible, okay, you feel like there is some moral, you know, like maybe they exploit people somehow, or that the people that play professional sports are somehow being taken advantage of, then if you want to speak out against sports, that needs to be your platform. Not mocking the sport itself, but dealing with the issue that causes you to dislike the sport. I don't know, maybe I'm going a little far afield here, but it just seems like there's been this paradigm shift. It's the same sort of picking on that has happened that everybody bemoaned and, you know, and disliked, has always bemoaned and disliked all through history. It's just the target has changed. And I'm not really super focused on the sports thing. That's just one thing that jumps up into my head. There are a whole bunch more that leap to mind. My job is karaoke. There are a ton of people that are convinced that karaoke is for losers, and that it's, this super dorky thing that, why the hell would you ever want to do that? Well, okay, that's, your opinion, but then ignore it. Don't make fun of it. Coming to a karaoke show and heckling the singers because you think karaoke is for, losers is pointless. Go someplace where you are going to have fun. Don't go out of your way to rain on the fun of others. It just doesn't make sense to me. So anyway, I guess that's what I mean by the whole shaming thing, is this propensity that people have to point at things that they dislike, or point at things without really going into the underlying reasons, and then trying to make other people feel stupid or feel inferior or feel less than because of that thing. And I think it's a shame, and I think that it's something that we should be rising above in the year 2014. I think it's something that we should be trying to not be as people. It's something that we should be trying to get away from, not something that we should take pride in. This isn't the sort of thing you should be, proud of being good at. This isn't something where you should be honing your craft. This is something where you should recognize it and try to curb it, What's the point? What do you gain by making somebody else feel crappy? That's really what it comes down to. If you really feel like that's your mission statement, then I guess I don't know what to say. But like I said at the very beginning, when I first started doing these vlog things, my job, well, not my job, but what I want from these is to be positive and to try and give people a positive thing to look at. So let me end on a positive note. Love what you love, and love it with all your heart. Whether this is people or hobbies or, whatever it is that you care about it with every fiber of your being, and don't worry about don't worry about the people that want to make you feel stupid for liking it. Just don't. Try to ignore them. I know it's hard. Believe me, I've spent a good portion of my life liking things that are pretty unpopular, I mean, I'm a Rush fan. Rush hasn't been popular in, 20 years. I'm a board game fan. I've been an out of the closet nerd for 35 years probably. It's the list goes on. And I'm not trying to put myself on some pedestal as be more like me, but it's one of those things where you just love what you love and love it with everything that you've got, because that's what makes you you, right? Those are the things that you have going for you. That's what makes you awesome. So embrace it and try not to rain on other people. Even if you don't like something that they like, if you have a really, really rock solid moral high ground and you absolutely cannot contain it, then engage in reasonable discussion. Don't shout, don't mock. Talk and be prepared to listen. Then, that's, but more so than that, before you talk, before you engage in that conversation, stop. Breathe, think, and let people live, because, man, the world is too big for everybody to think like you. So, anyway, that's my 2 cents. I don't know how regularly I'm going to do this, but I'm going to try and get back on the horse because, well, people have said that they enjoy these. So I hope that you are one of those people, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Peace out.